Hello, my name is Saria, and I am the current world record holder of River City Ransom Underground Any %. In this video, I'll let you know what to look for in considering this game for your speedrunning marathon. River City Ransom Underground is a 2017 indie sequel to the NES classic River City Ransom. This sequel was developed by the Canadian studio Conatus Creative, which had some of the same staff that went on to create the hit River City Girls games. River City Ransom Underground carries the torch of the original game's unique free exploration RPG beat-em-up gameplay, while featuring a ton of playable characters, a wide range of enemies, bosses, and areas, and, most notably, an all-new fighting system. I'll run you through some things to expect throughout this run, which I believe could make this game a good fit for a speedrunning marathon. This Any % category involves completing the entire story quest on the standard difficulty mode, with plenty of high-intensity and reaction-heavy fights, cutscene skips, exploits, and big time-saving tricks. I'll talk about how marathon-safe this game is shortly, but first I'd like to express this game's potential to generate viewer interest throughout the run. The game opens with several races against the literal in-game clock, leading into cartoonishly funny time-saving exploits. The middle of the run features a precise but non-punishing cutscene skip directly into possibly the game's most notorious quest, fetching milk from the grocery store. I'm not kidding, it's infamous for a reason. The milk run also features a striking, yet forgiving, bit of platforming. Once that's done, the second act builds to a climactic finale featuring a plane shooting at the player through the windows of a corporate building, which can be used hilariously and satisfyingly against the enemies, of course. That all ends with a flashy boss instant kill into a death warp. The game then transitions into a frenetic third and final act, peppered with some pop culture references via bosses, all capped off with a dramatic and zany final dungeon, where all of the runner's precision and resource management are put to the biggest test yet. All that said, this game is extremely marathon safe and very donor friendly. The world record stands at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 2 seconds, and the vast majority of no reset runs should come in around 1 hour and 10 minutes. An absolute disaster run with current strategies shouldn't take any longer than 1 hour and 16 minutes. Even the most major time losses simply aren't that costly, starting with potentially the scariest and most time-costing element, the day-night cycle, denoted by the clock you see on the top right corner. The day-night cycle is potentially scary because several required events in the first act of the story will only occur at day or night, respectively, and this game has no feature which allows you to skip forward the in-game clock. However, these events just happen to be placed perfectly so that if you simply know where you're going, all of these events can be done in perfect order without having to wait one bit for the game to switch to day or night in order to trigger the events. The leniency for accomplishing this route without running out of time is extremely safe, provided you start the beginning sequence of the game playing as Ryan, which saves time in dialogue. That in-game time save carries into the next part of the game. Once the introductory quest is completed, the game jumps to present day, prompting the player to choose a character. This provides an excellent opportunity for a donation incentive. For now, the player does not yet have access to the character who will be used to fly through most of the game, which is the modern version of Ryan. Until then, just about any of the characters provided to us are equivalently speedy in completing the next quest. I tend to choose Provi for this quest, and that's just because I think she's cool. The most important aspect of this quest is only to complete it fast enough to reach the next quest before nighttime, so this is a perfect chance for donors to decide who will be featured for this quest in the actual marathon run. After defeating the daytime boss, there are a few chase-down quests to complete, one of which we can only trigger in the nighttime. Thankfully, that chase is the final one, and the very next required event happens in daytime. So, traversing the world and completing the chases will take us safely, but smoothly, to the beginning of daytime. From that moment forward, the run is totally free from any special requirements of the day-night clock. In my interactions with all of the enemies, some patterns emerge in my fighting. This game employs an infinite combo prevention system, so naturally, you'll see me doing infinite combos whenever I can. I'm able to bypass the prevention system by performing a looping sequence of 4 non-consecutive moves. The older version of Ryan has the best single move for speedrunning this game, his dash kick, which is called the bird kick. Once I acquire the older Ryan, I am able to juggle enemies all the way across the screen by using very exact timings in sequence with the bird kick. By doing this, as well as flexibly adapting to unpredictable enemy behaviors, I can minimize the game's chance to fight back whenever I strike. It's a satisfying and familiar prowl through the modernized, yet nostalgic, streets of River City. And as it stands, even a slightly adjusted route to collect healing items for safety should very consistently finish in around 100 minutes. All the while, there are tons of amazing opportunities for donations to be read, and there's no telling what sorts of comedic moments this wild game will inflict upon me. And again, none of that should be too dangerous for a marathon run. I'll provide a bit more information about that infamous milk quest. The first bit of Act 2 involves visiting the house of Cindy, Ryan's girlfriend who was kidnapped in the original River City Ransom. As soon as her house is reached, I would be able to hype up the crowd in anticipation of the glory of the quest we are about to embark on. Cindy needs milk, and it's on us to pick it up for her. Upon this cutscene's completion, a milk carton will spawn in one of the previous malls. I will backtrack to that mall, and once I'm there, I must prepare to perform a skip as soon as I pick up a bottle of milk. Once I am carrying the milk, my character's movement will be slowed and restricted. However, with quick tapping, I am able to perform bursts of acceleration, which outpace my normal running speed. If I do this very well, I will leave the mall before the characters who just appeared end their dialogue. If I'm successful, this will skip a fight outside of Cindy's house. This is a nice cherry on top of the milk quest, but missing it is not the end of the world by any means, only about 20 seconds of time loss in doing the fight instead. The real challenge of the milk quest itself is managing to avoid taking any hits while helplessly carrying our bottle of milk all the way back to Cindy. In this game's original release version, being hit a single time while holding the milk resulted in the bottle breaking, and a new bottle having to be picked up all over again. Thankfully, an official game patch nerfed this quest. You can now drop the milk 3 times without penalty. However, when playing a marathon-safe route, you can avoid much of that risk entirely by simply putting the milk down in every room that you enter and clearing them of enemies before strolling through without issue. I intend to attempt running straight through every single room initially, because all of the close calls are very intense to behold, and it's quite likely to still get through unscathed. That said, upon taking a single hit and dropping the milk once, I would likely resort immediately to defeating all of the enemies in order to safely avoid having to restart the journey. But up until that point, there is something truly clench-worthy about the player passing the throngs of enemies that will be accosting the player in every single room as the milk is faithfully ferried to Cindy's house. This speedrun is a gauntlet of execution, adaptation, and careful planning on the spot, without any of it being particularly punishing if it goes awry. There are plenty of stretches of non-stop action, but an equal amount of periods where donations can be read and the host may sprinkle in announcements and reminders. I'll provide the current world record, so if you'd like, you can get a feel for both the complete game and my live commentary. Thank you so much for considering this run for the marathon. Good luck with the event. For any additional questions, please feel free to contact me via methods I provided with my submission, and I will be happy to respond as soon as possible. Enjoy.
All right, there it is, everybody. Prediction is open. You can guess the ranges of time that this run will finish. You can guess sub 108. You can guess between 108 and sub 108.30, between 108.30 and sub 109, between that and world record, or not world record, because this might not be world record. It might showcase like a new time skip or a new time save. Time skip. We're gonna age the characters even more than you've seen. Or like it could be like 2 minutes ahead. It could be the run I was visualizing, and then it gets taken from me right at the end. Like I die in the end game or something. It could be anything. But here we go. Starting off with a standard friendly Ivan kill, because he's a friendly boy with friendly honor who tells us we're a worthy enemy with an A. Nice block sliding. Normally my block sliding in this room is leaving something to be desired, but I think I was starting to find the rhythm and finding the rhyme. It's block slide time. Unfortunately, not pretty face guy time yet. Hopefully we see pretty face guy sometime in this opening sequence. And again, for anybody watching this run in the future, or if you're just tuning in now and have no idea what's going on, hi everybody, I'm Seiria. I am a speedrunner, and I like to speedrun a lot of games from the River City Ransom or Kunio-kun series, which this game is a part of. This is River City Ransom Underground. This is an indie sequel to River City Ransom, an NES and Famicom game that has gained a lot of love and appreciation over the years. This was released in 2016. It adds a very robust fighting system to the sort of classic feel of the original game, and has a very long story campaign, which I'm going to be speedrunning here for you. This is a pre-recorded speedrun that I'm applying live commentary to. Hi, Serafrikov, welcome. And this entire first 19 minutes or so of this speedrun, I call an auto-scroller, because you see that clock on the top right? That is a day-night cycle. And for the first part of the game, there are a lot of required events that are completely dictated, whether or not they even happen, by what time of day it is. It's just it's pretty, you know, holistic if it's day or night. So we have to start the game by making it to the arcade before it turns nighttime. Then we have to... That was a silly Simon fight. Let's do some pull-ups. Get ready to get to the arcade on time. Let's go, Ryan. This is gonna really make you strong in 28 years. Then, after we hopefully get to the arcade in daytime, we have to do a lot of little things here and there that the game directs us to do. And then one of the last things in that sequence of events is a required nighttime event, and then right after that is a required daytime event, like literally the next thing right next to the room that you do it in. So it works out such that you can do that last event pretty much right as it's about to turn daytime, and then do the required daytime event at the earliest possible moment that it turns daytime. But along the way, I'm definitely going to be wanting to do some money grinding. We're in. So that's also because we're in a bit of an auto-scroller where we have to wait for the day-night cycle anyway, because I'm going fast, and so I'm going to be going faster than the day-night cycle restricts me to. I want to be able to collect as much money as possible to buy items that increase my character's strength, because all of the useful attacks that I'm going to be using with Ryan, we're starting with Pro V, but once we get to Ryan, we're going to switch to him. I want to increase his strength stat because his best attacks are going to be using that, and once we level up enough gradually to be able to increase that stat with items, we need to be able to buy those items as soon as we cross them. Don't pay attention to what just happened. That was not real. But actually, it wasn't in terms of actually losing time, because we're restricted by the day-night cycle anyway. So anytime you see horrible, weird jank that happens to me that looks really, really slow in the early parts of this game, for an entire 19 minutes, it doesn't matter, really, because we're not actually losing time until we have to, fight Otis the moment that it turns daytime. Like, if I don't get Otis to appear the moment it turns daytime, that's when I actually start losing time from then on. Anyway, Serafrikov just began a week vacation off work, and it was needed. Awesome. That sounds great. I hope you enjoy it. Pilot, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed as well. Gotta work on your sleep schedule. Me too. Me too. Very, 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 very much. Hopefully moving into my new space will help with that, because it won't be a basement dungeon with no windows. So it'll work on my circadian rhythm for me. Alright, so now we're out of the modern high school, River City High, and we're directly into being chased by the law. We are wanted, and we're gonna have to try to clear our name. That is the focus of the first 2 acts of this game, is trying to clear our name, because we have been framed for kidnapping the financial juggernaut, because I've forgotten how to, like, refer to those people. Merv, you know, the guy who had the fast food chain, he's like one of the most powerful people in the world now, apparently, and his beloved was kidnapped, and we've been framed for it. So now, the entire world wants us dead. And now Alex and Ryan are here. And now we're fighting people with Alex and Ryan. And we cannot actually progress through these rooms until every single enemy in these rooms has been defeated. That will open up the right exit. Actually, that doesn't do it. It's actually when Alex and Ryan leave the room on the right, that's when the barrier opens and you can leave. So, this is the most auto-scroller part of the auto-scroller. You have to clear these out, and then you have to wait for them to get to the right. There's some more block sliding. Good job, boys. Let's bump it. That's cold. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we have 2 more rooms of this where we have to clear out every single person, and then we have to fight a boss, and then we will have access to switching to Ryan. And I love that we were able to use basically any character that we want. Basically all of them are going to be fast enough to get to the arcade before it turns nighttime, so you can fight the required boss in there, which will not appear in nighttime. So you can just use your favorite character, and my favorite character is Provi. Because she sounds like my favorite golf ball. No, it's because she's awesome, and she's like a tricker / b-boy girl. And she looks cool, and she is cool, and she's animated gloriously. And I like how fast her punches and kicks are. They link into each other really nicely. Although you'll see often in this game that enemies sort of like, they'll do this, and then they'll prevent you from hitting during that time. That's a parry. And that is when the game just sort of automatically ends your combo because of something that I believe is called the boring attack preventer system. If you do the same move 3 times in a row, or you do the same sequence of 2 moves 3 times or twice in a row, then it will end your combo automatically. So, that's another benefit of Ryan, once we're about to switch to him, is that he can do infinite combos. He can use his best move in sequence infinitely, because we can just do we can do a sequence of constantly interchanging 4 moves. And so we can just juggle enemies all the way across the screen. And one of those moves happens to do a lot of damage as well. So, thank you very much, Provi. You are awesome. Sorry nobody wanted to fist bump you. And now it's Ryan time. So now we're in the arcade, and you saw that clock on the top right just switched before it was taken over by the wanted meter, because I kicked open the tokens thing to get some extra money, and that made the police even more unhappy with me. It had just switched to the top of the hour, and I'm not exactly sure how fast the clock moves in this game, but having an entire hour of in-game time on the daytime clock is plenty of time. So you can hear the boss music. We have triggered the required daytime boss fight in the arcade. So we're good here. This boss actually is, like, for where you are with your level and how much power you can have, this is the hardest hitting boss in the game. It's actually really easy to get hit by a move that can drain all of your stamina in one hit. Thankfully, he didn't do it. So, everything's fairly clean so far, and we have a little bit of extra money from the tokens thing. We are, however, wanted by the police. For people who have been following me playing this game and speedrunning it, this is a new thing. You've never seen this before. I've never had the police coming after me at this part of the game yet. This is the second run that I had ever done. Again, you didn't see that, nothing happened. This is the second time this had ever happened to me, where the police were coming after me. After the arcade, because after I saw the token thing could give me money, I wanted to see if I could keep getting some to get some early cash. The first time I tried to take the cops with me into the next required fights, it didn't work out because the game did not think that the fights actually ended when the cops were on the screen, but thankfully there's a hideout on the way, and the moment you enter a hideout, it resets your wanted level. So now we are completely... life is just good. So now we can just break a vending machine, because who's gonna stop us? The law? Probably. But that was a good sequence there. So again, because we are basically in an auto-scroller, and we only have 2 more things that we have to do that are completely governed by happening in nighttime or daytime, and one of them is going to be at the end of night, and the next thing is going to be at the very beginning of day. We have a lot of time to work with, so I'm going to be using this time to collect as much money as I can. Like, I could just be throwing enemies into the pit here, but instead I'm going to elect to fight them and try and get all their money, because after we get through this factory and fight the boss at the end of the factory here, we are going to be passing a shop that has a strength increasing item, which again is very important for completing this game quickly with Ryan. And I want to have about $28 by the time I get there, because we want to buy 2 octopus rolls, which cost $13.85. So we need to have around $28 by that point. That guy ran away, which is a little bit trolly, but we still got a decent amount of money here. We're going to have almost 20, I think, once we defeat this guy. Pink Bee only appears once the game recognizes that you've defeated every single enemy in all of the previous rooms of the factory. So if you try to come to this room and beat up everybody, and they're all gone, and Pink Bee doesn't appear, it's because you haven't beaten every single enemy in all the previous factory rooms. They do count as having been defeated if you throw them into the pit. Alright, so now we're headed to the arcade. This is where I really want to see some money. Look at that guy go! Look at him go! What a legend. Our run has been blessed by the dancing guy. So, we're going to be riding the, did I say the arcade? The subway. We're going to be riding the subway 3 times in this run. This is the first time. It doesn't really matter how long it takes for it to get here, because again, we're in an auto-scroller, we're waiting for the day-night timer anyway. What I really want is for these NPCs to be giving money when I hit them. I believe that was like the 7th hit, and I still haven't seen money from them. I've never seen that before. They usually give you money on the first hit. That's like the 9th hit? That was like the 12th hit, and he finally gave me money. And also, these are the enemies that give you the least amount of money in the game. I needed to have like $25 at least by the time I left that subway. So now we are in trouble, because I need to get 2 octopus rolls by the time I get to the shop, which is only like 2 rooms away now. So we need to do it the old-fashioned way. The old classic River City Ransom way. Just beat up regular enemies and collect their cash. Thankfully, a lot of guys have coalesced right next to each other here, and so this is going pretty fast, and this isn't costing me any real time again, because I'm gonna have to wait for Otis to appear at daytime anyway. But what this is doing is making it very close. This is gonna make it way tighter than I like it to be. We have to trigger that cutscene at least, and we can skip it by hitting Ryan there, because Roxy loves that, and so she'll just forget about what she was about to say and trigger the next part of the game anyway, which is having to chase 3 people, the former kingpins of Slick. This game chooses Rocco and Ivan and Tex for you to have to chase through 3 rooms so they can give you a little bit of information and just, you know, trigger the next mandatory parts of the game. But again, before I do that, I need more money. I need $28. We're getting pretty close here. No, okay, we're there. Okay, we're good. That room was breezy. That actually was very lucky. All the enemies just kind of ran right up to me, and they stayed together, and I'm feeling a little bit better about things. And also, thankfully, I'm not being chased by the cops again, because it's very easy to accidentally hit pedestrians when you're fighting people. And sometimes the game triggers the wanted level because of that. But right now, the only person wanted here is Rocco. Because he's loved, and we want him to feel wanted. Okay, there I'm just actually checking my inventory space, because I also have more items in my inventory than usual here. I think I got a little glitch when I punched the vending machine and got those healing items, which we'll actually need to skip cutscenes later, by the way. It's not just for safety. Normally you only get 3, but sometimes, rarely, you get 4, because I think they get duped when they're coming out. And I just wanted to make sure that I had enough room if I wanted to buy 2 octopus rolls and keep them with me, that I would have enough room for that. But I'm going to eat one of them right away anyway. So we're just going to be... I was just making sure that I had, like, 5 spots, which of course I did. They're visible right on the UI itself. I was just being extra safe. That pause did cost real time, by the way. So that's like one of the only things you can actually do to cost actual time is pause, because that stops the day-night timer. Alright, next up we have the chase Tex. This is the hardest of the chasing sequences, because you see that pipe? You remember one of the things I ran into at the early part of the game? These things are really hard to get into. Okay, we did it. Now, if we miss him on this first ledge, we basically won't be able to... Okay, there we go. If we had missed him there and he had jumped over, we probably would have had to restart the entire thing, and then I would have been in deep trouble, because then I would have had serious trouble getting to Otis before I would have started actually losing time. Now, sometimes I like to fight those guys in that room because they have a lot of money, but I'm being very cognizant of the day-night cycle here, because I had to grind so much money out of my way there. I'm pushing it pretty close here, so I need everything to go perfectly from here on out in this auto-scroller to get to be able to fight Otis immediately as it turns daytime. But first off, as we head back to the new River City High location, we have a sequence of back-to-back rooms that are very long that we have to block slide through. That room started pretty badly, but then I got the groove, I felt the rhythm and the rhyme, and then I lost it. That was not very good there. Alright, plenty of statues of what looks like Ryan there, because this is actually where Crosstown used to be, if you'll notice and remember from the original River City Ransom, and you remember like the layout of the original game. This is what used to be Crosstown, so I don't know what happened to Crosstown, if they just consolidated the two schools, and Crosstown and River City are now together, but we will be going to the old River City High location very soon. As soon as we chase Ivan here. Ivan only appears in nighttime. He's the event that I was referring to that is nighttime exclusive. So yeah, it works out that like a lot of events here for the speedrun actually line up very satisfyingly. That if you play the game well, it'll just work out that like it seems like it was made for a speedrun, for you to just be able to have it be the end of nighttime when you finish the Ivan quest, and then just be right next to Otis, so it'll turn to daytime right when you want him to appear. And then that you go all the way back to the fight in the arcade, like that happens basically right as it's about to turn nighttime, so that sets all this up perfectly. It's actually very satisfying, but I don't know if they intended it that way. It's just great that it worked out like that. So here's the room. We are here at perfect time. The clock at that position is exactly what I want. So we're gonna have 4 guys that we have to fight here, and there's almost certainly gonna be reinforcements that come in. I've never seen there not be 2 extra guys that come in after you fight the first 4 here. So they're gonna come in any moment now. Any moment now. So I've never seen this before in my entire life. I'm very scared. I don't know if Otis is going to appear. And so I'm hanging out here in case they come in at the last moment, because I'd have to fight them. Okay, they didn't. And so I'm way far away from Otis. That's going to cost me about 6 seconds. Because I had never, ever in my life, upon the dozens and dozens and dozens of times getting to this part of the game and playing this room, never seen there not be reinforcements there. So... that's a very weird and scary way to end the auto-scroller segment, and it did, as you can see, cost me time. But we were able to wait for a level up and eat the second octopus roll, and so now I'm dealing 9 damage to everybody. That's why I like to be able to grind enough money to buy 2 of them, because before I would only be doing 8 damage to everybody at this part of the game for a long period of time from here on, until the next time I can actually access another shop. But because you actually have the allowance from the game, time-wise, to just grind for money, but without losing any time in real time, it's nice to just be able to deal more damage at the beginning. Also, that room can go very, very, very wrong, very, very fast. There's so many ways. We had to go grab a crowbar, which is kind of hidden there at the bottom of the room before it, and then use it to open up that grate, and it's incredibly easy to get knocked around and knocked down and knocked out of town. But instead, we went into the basement, and now the leader of the Warlocks is this guy, who is apparently Slick's biggest fan, and we all remember Ether, right? Can either of you who love him raise your hand? I hate myself. Celine saying, ah yes, it wouldn't be a say run without, and I've run this thousands of times and have literally never seen them do this. That's such a speedrunning thing. That guy almost knocked me. Okay, so the Warlocks are very upset at the horrible joke that I just made about Ether, and I think that they are gonna be making me pay for it. They just did there. Okay, so being knocked down by that guy unreactably there, that's something that happens very often in this game. Like, you're just going to get knocked down by incredibly annoying moves. It's part of the speedrun, but now, because we are free from the day-night timer, after beating Otis, everything that we lose time with will be losing actual time in the speedrun. And I missed a split. Speaking of... Gosh dang it, I hate that. I hate causing confusion like that. Maybe I'll fix it in editing. We'll see. But this VOD will be forever marred. The Warlocks got me with that too. Okay, first off, we need to get a subway to appear fast here. If we have to wait a long time for this subway, we're losing a lot of time. Okay, that was pretty good. That was not a perfect subway, but we only had to wait about 3 seconds. Maybe 4 or 5, because we had to wait for the doors to open too. So, that's our second of our 3 subway visits in this run. And again, because everything actually matters for real time now, the longer you have to wait for subways, the more time you're losing. And it is possible for you to arrive in the subway room and have the subway already be there with the doors open, and you can just walk straight into them. That's what I call a perfect subway. And it seems to be really, really luck-based. I mean, I don't know if it actually coincides perfectly with the day-night cycle, but you're not going to be at the same part of the day-night cycle every single time. You're just not going to. So, I call it pretty luck-based, because everything that happens leading up to the subway is the luck that determines whether or not you get a subway to appear right away. Anyway, speaking of the old River City High location, here we are. This is one of my favorite parts of the game. I think it's really fun. There's just so much that you have to stay on top of, so much you have to react to, and you have to execute really well, like the infinite combo here on Abobo. There are a lot of Abobos that appear here. And, you can have this go way quicker if these enemies, which again, we're seeing reinforcements come in, if these enemies run away early. Because runaways also count as completions in defeated enemies. We didn't get any runaways, and we got an extra reinforcement, but that wasn't terrible. Like, entering the second room at around 23:30 is pretty good. But what are they doing? Okay, that ended up working out. But these guys are like smoke. And if they'd look in a mirror, they'd see how bad this looks in a speedrun. Come on, guys, smoke and mirrors. My jokes are getting worse by the moment, but at least this Abobo is green. He's not green. I'm... I don't know what's happening. Anyway, that guy, that's the first time that one of those enemies has been such a straggler that I have not taken him out before that, that greenish Abobo. And so I'm losing, and he's also perfectly avoiding me. Even after losing me time by not being taken out before that, he was just the most squirrely being that was not a squirrel. He was even squirrelier than squirrels. I mean, come on. I've never seen him be that weird. They're all perfectly backstepping me. They are not like this. I promise. They're not like this. I promise you. They've never been this bad. So as you can see, I'm using the pit to my advantage to just try and take people out without having to wait for their death animations or for their money to go away. And that guy also zipped out of my grasp. This is just a really weird old River City High. But the time is actually still pretty good. Like, when I cross that little bridge, I look at my timer. If I'm around 25 minutes flat, it's a pretty good pace. And I was like at 25:03. So even with all the ridiculous jank, things were okay. And now we have a very scary fight, because if Slick does one of his special moves, which happens on the 0th frame, and he goes right into that pit, then you have to follow him into a much bigger room where you have no idea where he's going. And his health refills. So I'm actually consuming more items here than I usually do, because I found that you skip a lot of text. So, something I already had been doing... Why did that do that? Something I already had been doing was consuming one of those items after the dialogue starts and skipping some of the text. But I was afraid to do more of it because in 99% of the cutscenes in this game where you can consume items, instead of skipping dialogue like it just did, it actually just starts the dialogue from telling you like what stats are increasing of the item that you just consumed. Okay, subway, here we go. It's not here. There it is. That's a good subway. Okay, not bad subway luck. So if in 99% of cutscenes, if you consume an item, then along with having to wait through the cutscene text, which all of them are unskippable, you now also have to wait through the entirety of the item text, which adds around like 40 seconds for a lot of the items. Now people are giving me money in the subway. This is what it's supposed to look like. Usually first try that you hit them and they give you money. That's how unlikely it was for that first subway to happen, where nobody gave me money for like the first 12 hits. Hey Kingslayer, it's going pretty well. Showing off the second of the 2 pre-recorded runs that I'm showing tonight. My brain is exploding, the enemies are getting really, really fast and acrobatic and agile, they're dodging everything that I'm doing, my brain is getting less agile, and hopefully... hopefully things go well from here, and I hope you enjoy. I hope you're doing awesome. I said amazing and awesome at the same time. Alright, we're gonna buy one more octopus roll on the way to our next area, because we have a lot of running to do. This speedrun is kind of like a constant back and forth dance between being a running simulator and then being a sequence of a lot of intense fights in a row with lots of execution and precision and interesting luck elements. We are in a very running simulator intensive part of the run, because now we have to go to a new area to get our next cutscene, and then we'll have to go all the way back and then bounce all the way back again. But first, we have a mandatory room that we have to fight in on the way. We're really hoping that we only have to fight 4 enemies here. And I ate that octopus roll right away because I thought I was going to be dealing 10 damage afterward. But apparently the level up that I got during the old River City High segment, I think, or I got a level up in between eating the second octopus roll and this one, I thought. But I apparently didn't get enough level up from that level up to actually increase my strength stat, so I just wasted that octopus roll. And so that sucks. I'm going to be only dealing 9 damage when I should have kept that, and then I would have been dealing 10. But thankfully I was only required to fight the minimum 4 enemies in that room, and the boss fight wasn't too bad, although you saw they did find a way to knock me down and then dance all over the place. That pink bee and purple bee duo fight is one of the most annoying things in the game, because they are perfectly geared to get around you on either side and then just do all their knockdown moves and then just make you wish that you could actually punch them in real life. But that room was a great example of me saving time due to fighting the minimum amount of enemies that I had to fight. And, you're going to be seeing that for the entire rest of the run, and it's already been in play before that. You saw it because I was waiting for reinforcements in the Otis room, and they didn't come. That was incredibly rare. For the entire rest of the run, I'm going to be hoping for that. I'm going to be hoping to be Wait, hold on.
Nervous as hell for some reason. Through the milk quest? Let's see if I don't get the worst mercenary section of all time. And then the freaking West Quick Kill, and then all of the unbelievable variants after that for the entire rest of the game. Let's go.
I also missed a split. Yeah, I just wanted to chime in the moment that I was feeling ridiculously nervous, because if you had actually seen on my splits, because this is the run where I'm forgetting to split, this is my best Cindy time ever. I got decent subways, I got a decent room with Pink Bee and Purple Bee, and so I think it was right around a 25-30. Right around a 29-30, my bad. Really good pace. But, yeah, in every room from here on out, I'm going to be hoping that I only have to fight 4 enemies, and that reinforcements do not come in. Because with every single extra enemy that comes in, with a possible of 1 to 3 reinforcements, you have to fight them in order for the room to identify that it's been completed. If they don't come in, then all you have to do is fight the 4 that are already there, and it will identify as completed. But it's random whether or not reinforcements even show up before you've defeated them, and how many show up, and then how staggered their appearances are. Like, you could get one reinforcement to show up and then defeat him, and then as he's dying, the second one could come in, and then as he's dying, the third one could come in. Like, there's like every single fight from here on out has a possible variance of like an entire minute. It's a very interesting speedrun, but the variance usually ends up evening out in this game. It usually ends up being around the same expected level of luck. But speaking of luck, time for the most amazing quest in video game history, the milk quest. We're going to start it out by having to pick up the milk immediately and trying to perfectly mash our way out of this room. When you're carrying the milk, you're moving way slower, but if you constantly mash the button, you're going to get your acceleration speed, which is faster. And so because of that, not only do you just in general move faster, I also was able to leave the room before Alexis's dialogue was over. And that didn't really skip anything in the moment, but it will skip something later at the end of this milk quest, which will save about 40 seconds if I can get through this milk quest without being hit. Now for 3 rooms where I cannot move up or down. The first guy did his attack too late, and then the warlock just started sprinting past me because he wanted to make sure that guy was okay. This room, they let me get up on top of that so I could get away from them, and now one more long room where they could just completely end me. If I drop the milk once, it's basically over. They usually don't let you pick it up again, even after the patch where you can drop it multiple times. If you drop it 4 times, it breaks. In the original version of the game, if you dropped it once, it broke. And you have to go through like 8 rooms of enemies that are constantly trying to knock you down with mostly unavoidable moves. But if you're lucky, like I have been in this run, they will just let you pass. That forest is the fastest way to get back to Cindy's house, and it is the scariest because you have no leeway up or down. Oh god, they're coming, they're coming, they're coming. Rest in peace, rest in peace. Alright. Almost a sub 33 at the end of the milk quest. This is real uncharted territory. This is the fastest run ever by far. Now, here's the thing. Right after that luck section, I'm sorry, my brain just shut down for a moment. Right after that luck section, very, very, very intense and scary. Being chased down as we're moving far slower, with tons of landing lag. If you thought that was luck-based, it was. But now, we have to rely on seeing helicopter shadows in these rooms that we're in around this area, and then we have to chase them into another room so we can fight a mercenary that drops down from that helicopter. Then we have to defeat them, and then do that 5 more times. After getting knocked down by one of those unreactable moves that I got lucky to avoid before, I guess. Oh wait, there's a helicopter shadow that actually allowed me to see that it was coming. I mean, I would have seen it anyway. I might not have, because sometimes the shadow does not actually come from the beginning of the room like that. Sometimes you have no idea if the shadow was there or not. So actually it was probably a blessing in disguise that I was hit by that guy, so I could see that I was going to have to do a fight in this room. But as I said, we now have to do that 5 more times. We have to collect 6 dog tags. We have to clear our inventory, which only has 6 spaces, in order to get all of the dog tags from these mercenaries. And so far, this is a great start. Aside from, you know, the fact that the game just gets really angry that you're playing it, and so it tries to stop you from playing it by knocking you down when you're actually playing it. I've gotten really good luck so far with the helicopter shadows appearing early, and then also taking me like right to the rooms that I'm already in, so I don't have to chase them all over the place. This is an incredible start. I've also done the fights very well. Like, that was the first guy that I think I wasn't able to hit in the air. Okay, but now we're gonna be able to combo him. Now we're good. Never mind, I missed him. Still, that's fine. Like, This is a bit sloppy, but that's still a pretty good fight, all in all, because you can see whenever you're trying to fight those guys, and those are the only guys you have to beat during the sequence, you're surrounded by 7 other enemies at the same time. So, trying to single out the enemies in this game to this point that are the most block-heavy and the most agile, well, an entire mob of people is trying to hit you at the same time. It's really easy for that to go badly. And I was way lower than I thought I was there. And also, as you can see, when these rooms start, the camera pans up to the helicopter to show the mercenary dropping down, and this was the... You can see that usually that puts your character out of view, and everything that happens in the game is still happening. So basically every time that the camera goes back down to you, you're on the ground because you've been knocked down, and you had nothing that you could actually see. But in the meantime, as I was talking about that, I've been having the greatest 6 mercenary section I've ever seen. Thankfully, I didn't get the cops coming after me for hitting multiple NPCs on the way. If I don't get droughted really, 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 really badly here, I'm about to be like a minute and a half ahead. I'm about to save a minute. So all I need is one more. Don't drought me. Don't do it. If you finally spawn the helicopter, don't make it go to the left. I just lost a minute. That is the peak of River City Ransom speedrunning. Things going the best they've ever gone by far, and the game hating that and immediately taking it away from you the moment that you have hope. So, not only... See, we're starting to lose time now, based on when that's gone well before. I would have been done like 40 seconds ago if I hadn't gotten droughted and if I had gotten a fight to happen on the right where I have to go. Because I got droughted and I had to go all the way to the left to fight the last one, I lost about a minute. I saved time overall compared to the last run, but that's because the last run, it went really, really badly too. Epsil, thank you so much for the 26-month sub. I really, really, really appreciate that. I hope you're doing amazing. You're coming in as this run is starting to get spicy. I just got absolutely demolished by the run turning up the troll dial to 10 willion trillion fillion. I just got Nathan Fillioned. That's how bad it went. That's how strong it was. It just Captain of Fireflied me with how bad the luck was at the very end. But... it's alright. We were able to fight a lot of rich kids in this room, get a lot of their money, because again, we are, in this entire run, we have to be very conscious of how much money we're getting, because it's so important. Every time that we pass a shop, we need to be able to buy items that increase our strength, so we're still always keeping that in mind. So I'm gonna wait to get this guy's money. I'm sad because I got knocked down on the way to this room, and I got knocked down in this room because rich kids are really annoying, and River City Ransom Underground will just knock you down whenever it feels like it anyway, no matter who's on the screen. Alright, Kingslayer, I hope everything's okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, welcome Epsil again. Thank you so much again for the sub. Thank you everybody, I hope you're enjoying so far. Alright, we're coming up. Once we get into this elevator, I'm so excited about reaching this roof that I'm gonna eat all these dog tags. Nom 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 nom. Delicious. And hopefully this room goes well, because it feels really good when it does. Let me just go camp out over here. Come on, people. Come on over here. The air is fine. Not for breathing. Get down there. Haven't you always wanted to fly? I love that so much. Okay, and now for just a regular boss fight here. We have plenty of space to do combos here. I really, really, really need to be doing 10 damage here, though. The fact that I missed out on that octopus roll by eating it too early is going to be probably costing me a lot of time throughout these next sequences of the game. It probably already cost me time on the military section. Even when I got incredible luck, I was probably losing time on the fights with those mercenaries. And then against the mercenary in the actual military area and in that fight. So only doing 9 damage here is probably costing me a little bit of time in every single interaction. So that one routing mistake, not great. I missed another split. This is the first time that I've been showing one of these pre-recorded runs that I'm doing this badly with missing splits. That's so annoying. And also, for some reason, when I'm pressing the splits, it's bringing up the media player UI, which hasn't been happening before. I don't understand what is going on. It's probably because I'm pressing 0, which has something to do with the media player. Also, that guy made the mistake of trying to go swimming in the winter. We all know that that reduces your credit score. Sparked a surge to create a picture based on that? Based on what? Yeah, even with all of the little annoyances that this run has dunked upon us, especially the ultimate dunk that was the end of the 6 mercenary section, I couldn't be dominated harder, I don't think, and hopefully we're not about to be. I also have to consume that River City Ransom Underground really early. Hopefully I'm going to be doing 11 now. That's a relief. So normally I keep that River City Ransom Underground that I just bought from that store, which is the name of the item that I bought, because it's meta and stuff. I usually keep that until after Merv Tower to make sure that I have enough levels that it's going to be benefiting me, and also because I prefer to have that in reserve for after my later shopping to make sure that I get up to the highest attack power that I can. Okay, please don't give me another reinforcement here. This would be really fast if you don't give me another reinforcement. Oh, and it's a military person. So here he goes, dodging me and blocking me. See, that's a perfect example of me losing another 15 seconds compared to if I hadn't had to watch that guy traipse in here. The nice thing is, he did give me extra money. I would not have gotten that money if I had already been on the lift. Okay, here we go. Come on, dude. Fist bump. Come on, one time. I'm just not approachable enough. Anyway, here we go. I think we have to do 4 sequences of fighting 4 people on this lift. These guys are fine. They very rarely block you, and they don't dodge you very often, so... Ooh! That almost was a 1 cycle. If that guy had been knocked down by the 3rd guy I threw, he would have fallen in. That was almost a perfect beginning, but it was still really good. Now, the 2 sets of fights I do after this are going to be against the cops. They are more likely to dodge you, and they are much more likely to block. So... we have to hope for some luck here. I mean, this is Merv Tower. All of Merv Tower is incredibly variant. Okay, we got at least 1 guy. And then there's a block. And then... okay. Nice ending. That is really, really, really beneficial. That was such a boon. Alright, now we have to take care of them again. And do a little bit of a... magic here. Whoa! Wasn't I farther to the right? How did I do that? So these guys are fine. It's the final sequence against the mercenaries that I really worry about. Oh, they fell kind of in different places, but they also can be annoying because they get up really fast. But that was another really, 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 really good cops fight. Obviously, the fastest way you can complete those waves is by trying to throw them off as soon as possible, not by fighting them normally, 1 by 1. The mercenaries make it really, really, really hard to do that strategy, because they're the best at dodging, and they never stop blocking. Okay? And they get up immediately, basically. When you try to pick them up, they roll out of your hands. They don't just get up while you're holding them, they roll out of your hands. So this is yep, like that. So this is really slow. I've seen that go way faster, and for some reason it kept the lift stalled even though he fell off. So that cost me another 3 seconds. That's unfortunately a fairly standard / below average mercenaries wave. That could have been a lot better. But all in all, that was a really good lift, and the section that we fought before the lift, to actually get on it, was pretty good too. So, here comes the rest of Merv Tower. Here comes the exciting part. I love this part. And a little fun little bug falling in there all sad and stuff. And I love this game. That was actually really, really cool. Just the immediate turnaround into the most annoying move in the game. I had no way to see it coming, but... Alright, I'm hoping to not see mercenaries in these rooms, because I want to be able to take everybody out on the left side that I can, and then, once the stage hazard starts becoming in play, I want to be able to dodge it to the right, and hopefully people start walking into it on the left side. Okay. And yeah, they're blocking, and when you're behind objects in this game, you... Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh... So, at this point, I call it even. Everything the game did to stunt on me during the mercenaries part, I say, you can have that one, because it just gave me a solid back. It just really did me a solid, and it gave me a solid. I don't know what that means, but I mean it in the purest form of how it could be possibly meant. And now, no mercenaries. And the two guys on the right are cops, so I don't even have to... I mean, I'm not going to be getting money, which is a little harmful for being able to get strength items, but now I don't have to worry about getting his money all the way to the right, because as soon as he's gone, this door's going to open. All of these rooms, you're supposed to be fighting 2 waves, because the second wave has a card key for you to open the doors, but if you're already there when the door opens for those people to come in, you can just walk through the door when it opens. And that was a really good third room, because people just jumped into the pit, and the guy that wasn't jumping into the pit was a cop, so I didn't have to worry about his money. So I could, as soon as he was flashing, I could just run over and get into the open door. That is Merv Tower. 47-26.
It's time for the West Quick Kill. I've been messing it up a lot more as time goes on. I'm nervous. It's the only thing I didn't like about the last world record that I'm running against right now. So if I miss it again, I don't know if there's much point to continuing, and so I'll have basically wasted 50 minutes. Not really, because this has been fun, and that was a really fun Merv Tower, but my god, I would like to be able to get this, and it is making me very nervous in anticipation. Here we go.
What he said. We saw me mess up the Merv kill in the pre-recorded run that I showed before this, the run that I mentioned. I was just barely too high. If you mess up the timing, you lose 30 seconds. If you mess up the positioning, you lose 30 seconds. If a little janky thing kind of messes up his flight path off of the plane to skip the fight, you lose 30 seconds. But, because I missed it last run, I have an opportunity to save that time. Here's the West Quick Kill. Now for the Death Warp. This is something I found about a week ago, so we have to jump off the plane to decrease our health a lot of times because we kept all of our tutorial health and willpower in reserve. After you get through the tutorial willpower, you'll be guaranteed to have one more plummet before you're dead. And so you wait until the very end of that cutscene, because then it'll switch you automatically out of your death sequence into the next part of the game. And so, once we collect this money... Oh my god, that's terrible spawning. I can't really get this money. I'm not being able to run into the wall in time to skip a line of text. Yep, there it is. Ryan's not supposed to have to talk there. Oh man. Well, but we still got the Death Warp. We just skipped an entire minute of running all the way back here. Not bad, I guess. But...
Well, that coin RNG was trash. My hand is shaking so much I can't hold the phone. Hold the phone?
I'm losing my mind at this point because, for some reason, this run just felt like the run to this point. And also, that sounds great, Epsil. You have an untold 1 file running, but you're focusing on 2. Oh, wow. Yeah, I hope you're really enjoying that. Okay, so... this is a required cutscene. We have to wait here. This will trigger the clone that we have to chase. We have to wait for, like, the chase cutscene to play out 3 times. This is going to trigger that to happen. So we have to wait for this cutscene to play out. Even though there's a way for you to switch characters and then walk out of the room and leave this early, then you would not be able to complete the game. So, we have to do this. And then after this, we have to run all the way back to the beginning parts of the game. Oh my dear. I was actually trying... I was moving down there before I started dashing, specifically to prevent that from happening. But because moving up and down in this game takes longer than, you know, the heat death of the universe, he still was just able to immediately trigger that move, because all the moves that can knock you down in this game have 0 wind-up, and so they just knock you down immediately, which is so much fun. So he got me. But, yeah, annoying start to this split. But we're on our way. Now we can do some block sliding through this room. It's always a little scary because from here on out, all of the rooms that we have to fight in and run through are filled with the stronger versions of the regular enemies and the worst enemies in any video game ever, the agents. We're gonna have to fight in this room later. We're gonna have to really pray that we don't have to face any agents like that guy when we're there, because in a game full of intense variance that I've already laid out for you this entire commentary, the most heavy source of variance in the entire game by itself is fighting an agent. And the entire endgame is basically just agents, so we're gonna have lots of fun wondering how life is going to continue when we're heading into the endgame, but they only have a chance to appear in all of the required fighting rooms until the endgame, so we're just praying that we don't have to see them until we have to see them. And we're saving time. Again, we lost some time for getting knocked down and stuff, but that was a successful West quick kill, so we saved 15 seconds. I think that's worth a fist bump. Alex does not agree. Come on, let's get a little bit of self-love here for just one time. So cold. I don't even want to punch the punching bag anymore. I just want to hide again. I want to hide from my nerves. Because as Vald Edon says, it's never the run until it's over. And that is so especially true with like every single game that I've ever speedrun, especially freaking Kunio-kun games. It's never, ever in the bag until the final split has been hit. Even with this being one of the most consistent games I've ever speedrun, and like the most consistent Kunio game I've speedrun, you see just how much can happen to you outside of your control, and how much time you can lose when you make one mistake. And here we go. I am just shy of being able to buy 3 octopus rolls with this amount of money, so even though I don't want to see any agents in this room where I have to fight the Dad and Me boss to open up the endgame, I'm hoping that one of these enemies is going to have some money. I just need a little bit to have enough to buy 3 octopus rolls, because I'm only doing 11 damage, and world record was doing 15 damage, the maximum, in the endgame. So if I'm only able to buy 2 octopus rolls, I'm going to be doing 2 less damage with every single hit. And you can see, these are a lot of hits that I'm going to be doing less damage with. And the game, again, is very angry that I'm playing it, and so it's trying to take the controller out of my hands by making sure that my character is on the ground 100% of the time. But we managed to get around it somehow. Still lost a little bit of time. We also had to fight quite a few reinforcements. I think we got 2 reinforcements there, which is unfortunate. But again, no agents, and so we might actually save a little bit of time here if I keep this combo going. Yep. Pretty smooth Dad and Me fight. We only saved 0.1 seconds because of the reinforcements and the knockdowns. That's sad. Alright, so I almost ran into the pit there. That would have been very silly. Thankfully not as punishing as running into that pit in that room in River City Ransom. But speaking of being punished, no money from that room, so we're only going to be doing 13 damage in the endgame. So at this point, I have no idea how to feel. I don't know how possible it is for me to get a world record from here, because once we get into the final hideout, I'm going to be losing time to the world record. Just, if the fights all go the same, I'm going to be losing time. So I'm going to be relying on getting really good luck to be able to world record it all here. And also, I'm playing, every time I do this final chase into the end game, I'm playing it safe. It looks like you can outrun this guy and have him still trigger into the next room, so he can go all the way to the end game, and the game can know to open up the end game. But I like to play it safe and hang around behind him, make sure that he leaves the room first. But here's the last time we have to do a lot of block sliding through a very long room, and I am just biffing it. That was horrendous. Okay, now we're doing a little bit better, and then we're doing a little bit worse. Okay, whatever. Still better than just regular running. Here we go. Okay, another very, very, very luck-intensive room. I need to really hope that I only have to fight 4 people here. That seems fairly common in this room, to not have to fight any reinforcements. And again, like, agents can appear at any time. I actually, a few runs before this one, died in this room, because right as the final of the first 4 enemies was disappearing, 2 agents came in and killed me. Thankfully, that did not happen this time. And now for the slick fight. This fight's weird. He's a blocker, and he can randomly do, like, 0 frame attacks, just, like, immediately be going through you with an attack. But we're doing 12 damage here. I already had one of my 2 octopus rolls, because we need to be doing 12 damage to slick. Okay. Basically, the same pace ahead of the world record that we were in the last world record. We're 40 seconds ahead. This time, we don't have the benefit of a new skip, aside from, like, the little cutscene skips at the end of the old River City High. We just got the West Quick Kill. We got... The worst thing that has happened so far was just being absolutely eviscerated by the final mercenary. Just refused to appear and then went all the way to the left. That is... If not for that, we would be a minute and a half ahead right now. And as is, like, the only thing that went horribly wrong was just an incredibly trolly piece of luck. So I'm hoping that the rest of this doesn't go too badly. This fight has gone really badly, though. Trolley blocking, everybody separating, more reinforcements, people dodging with footsies. That was a pretty bad room, and that annoyed me a lot. So I'm really, really, really needing this boss fight to go cleanly. Okay. Because again, like, I can't really afford to lose any more time before this endgame, because I'm going to be only doing 13 damage compared to the world record doing 15. And also, once this fight is over, I need to prepare for a very difficult cutscene skip. Normally we have to listen to Chris's entire dialogue sequence here, but we have to focus here, do a very, very precise input. Here we go. Boom! Okay, we did it. That's so mean. Alright, so I'm not taking weapons in here anymore. It seems that it was only getting in my way to bring in a weapon in here and try to distract people. The agents don't care about the weapons at all, and it only adds another gimmick to the gimmick rooms. But before we worry about the freaking agent gimmick rooms, we have to nail the elevator sequences. These can go so wrong in a hurry, right? Nail this, and then get the combo. Perfect. The next one will be harder because it's the same thing but 2 agents, and so if they separate, then things can go really, really, really wrong. But as long as I just do it the same way I did it there, it should be fine. It's just, it can be very nerve-wracking. This is so nerve-wracking. Oh wait, hold on. Most important, Celine! It's alright, we'll fist bump someday. This can be very nerve-wracking because the timing really gets into your head with it slowing down for so long. Okay, now. Okay, now juggle them. They were separated in the air. I missed both of them. Come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? He still has more hits? I don't understand that, honestly. Like, he had, like, 30 more health than the other guy? Like, do the different, like, versions of the same enemies have different stats or something? Because he had way more health than the other guy. I don't know. Like, when he started flashing, I had to do like 4 more hits before he actually went down. So that was incredibly annoying. That cost me like 15 seconds. But now here's the important one. I can't let any of these guys get away. Okay, perfect. Didn't even have to chase him down. So, not the best elevator. Also, I forgot to split again! I don't understand this. I've nailed it every single... whatever. Here we go. Entering the final area of the game. Coming up on the agent gimmick rooms. I just have no clue how I should feel at this point, because very little from this point on is up to me, but I do have to play perfectly. Just play perfectly and hope that the game cooperates. I have to try and get agents into the air so I can combo them, try and not let them get separated, try and not get knocked down by unreactable stuff. Here we go. Okay, fun. That's a good start. Got knocked down by an unreactable thing. 2 guys got in the air, but I wasn't able to take advantage. Oh my. Okay, nope. And then I think that was a bug where the game took away my ability to pick him up, even though I was right on top. Nice moves. He just completely stunted on me. Made me look like a clown in front of my friends and family and the entirety of the British government. Still could have been worse. Like, it wasn't as good as it was in World Record. So how much time did I lose? Uh-oh. Okay. Only 35 seconds ahead, and we're guaranteed to be losing more time unless things go really well, because I'm only doing 13 damage. And now for the worst room in video gaming history. And what? That was the worst possible time he could have shot his bullet, and so now I'm getting juggled by the lasers. If he hadn't shot his bullet, I would have been in an incredible position. Okay, this is actually... Oh! He still has more health. I'm glad I was paying attention there, because that guy had a lot more health than I thought he did. And now he's in position I can combo him. Go, go, go! No way. No way. Don't split. Don't split. 1 hit away, he had a chance to completely avoid me and split into 2 agents with their health refilled. That was scary. We saved a bit of time compared to World Record, but now the machine, the place where I could get knocked down every 5 seconds if things go terribly. Thankfully we don't see Wes or Chris, but we do have Provi, and she loves that move. Guaranteed knockdown. And he has a knockdown move, but we got them in this state where they just refuse to do anything. Yes, that is exactly what I needed. Okay. If things go really well, we have some time to save here. We have 30 seconds to save based on the best that this last split has ever gone. That was scary. He looked like he was about to crunch me. But again, only 13 damage here compared to 15. And that's not a good sign. We need to see not very many agents here. Okay, only 2 so far. But that's a terrible start. Blocking and a knockdown. Let's just go after these guys for... And then a bullet while I was in my combo. Okay, at this point, I'm feeling like it's over. Like, that's a horrendous start. All 3 agents are on the field. Wait, I got them in the air. Come on, jump into me. Nope. That's good enough. Okay, no more reinforcements, no more reinforcements. Oh, come on. And she's on the left side. I have to not go all the way to the left, or else I will leave the room and have to restart the entire thing. Okay, actually, that was fine, because I would have had to wait for that agent's money anyway to start the fight, and so she actually didn't cost me really any time. Here we go. Because I'm doing less damage, I have to pop off on this fight. I have to do perfect combos. I can't get hit ever. This has to be perfect. Playing it safe, making sure that he can't get out of my grasp and that I miss a grab, and so I'm guaranteed to get hit. Now I can go to the left side of the screen because it's closed off now. He almost got me. That was unfortunate. Dash kick, punch. It's called a bird kick, actually. That's the infinite combo sequence where you mix in 4 different moves. Dash kick, punch, bird kick, bird kick, kick. That was exactly what I needed. So, we're about a minute ahead, about 10 seconds away from a minute barrier. I'm aware of that, and I'm going to try to play perfectly. So here, what I'm trying to decide is if I'm going to YOLO the laser room. So we have to go all the way back through the hideout as it's getting ready to do the final form protocol. Very video gamey stuff. We have to, first off, not get knocked down by these really aggressive people who are running at me really fast. Alright. I wonder if I could have jumped in there from the conveyor belt. But I'm wondering if I'm going to just try to run straight through the laser room, hoping that I'm going to get a delayed timer and that I'm not going to get knocked down. Here we go. Random timer. Do I go? Nope. I play it safe, and guess what? It gave me an extended timer, so I could have done it. I actually could have one-cycled that. We'll see if that matters. First off, let's do this right. Let's not make any stupid mistakes and get comboed by the easiest boss in the game. All of you who joined in on the prediction, the ones and the twos are the ones who are looking most likely, unless I get absolutely eradicated by the people who are on fire in the next room, in the next gimmick room, the final room where horrible, horrible things could happen. I could lose basically up to 5 or 6 minutes there, or the entire run, to dying to an infinite combo. So I'm trying not to distract myself with that as I get all the timings of this fight. But I am terrified, because I don't know if it's possible to get a sub 108. But if anything goes wrong, then we definitely won't. But I'm gonna play it so aggressive. Here we go. Good pattern. Here we go. I'm gonna try and cut off some corners here. Oh, I missed my dash. Okay, this is it. We can't lose any more time. But let's just try and fist bump him. Nope. That is 2.5 seconds away from a minute barrier. That...
If I had run through the laser room, if I had just YOLO'd, it would have been a minute barrier broken, but I can't really say I have to care that much. I did everything that I could. I took everything the game gave me. I am lucky that I was even able to take that 40-second lead through the end game and have world record at all, let alone gain time. I'm happy. I'm happy. That's the run. That's the one. I'm happy. It had the West quick kill. It had the boss fight skip outside of Cindy's house with Alexis. It messed up a little bit of routing with the octopus roll heading over to Cindy's house. Don't know how much time that cost me. And I got absolutely freaking annihilated by the final mercenary in the 6 mercenaries section. That was one of the worst trolls this game has ever given me. So, hats off to the game there. It got me. It got me. But then, I got it. I did it. Oh my god. It had way more chances to troll me. Honestly, it could have spawned enemies behind the bathrooms when I was trying to do the Dad and Me fight. It could have done so much worse, and it didn't. And I played pretty well, so. That is River City Ransom Underground in 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 2 seconds. So close to 107, but I basically did everything I could, and I don't regret playing it safe in the laser room on the way back. I don't regret it. I deserve, I think, to not regret this run. Finally. I hope you all enjoyed that. I really did. Let's go.
Thank you all so much for the GGs. Thank you Woodlings, Neon, Epsil, Valdidone, Ursats, welcome, hope you're doing great. Hope y'all enjoyed that run. Yeah, in terms of, like, yes, like, I can move on and feel like I have accomplished the first run that I feel like this game really deserves as a representation of a speedrun. This was the run. I know that I'm gonna beat this time someday. I don't know if it's gonna be soon. I don't know when. Or if it'll be with all the same strats, like maybe we'll find something, but in terms of like this being something I'm really happy with, this is the run. And I'll beat it someday. Yeah, talk about a low 108. I'm so sorry to the ones. You were so close. In terms of like a long speedrun, that's about as close as you can get to not getting a minute barrier. And yeah, of course, like it kept me up a little bit last night, and when I woke up this morning, it's like, oh my God, all the little time losses. Like, let's talk about some of the little time losses that added up to more than 2.5 seconds. Not realizing that I wasn't going to get reinforcements for the first time in my life in Otis's room, so I had to walk all the way down to him. Obviously, we're going to not talk about the mercenaries yet, because that was a big time loss. All the little knockdowns in between rooms that don't usually happen to me, but can happen because it's River City Ransom Underground. Only doing 13 damage in the end game. Not running through the final room of the lasers. I know there's more. There are actually quite a few little things here and there that were just like 5 or 10 seconds. But that's speedrunning and that's life. And I'm not that choked up about it. Like, yes, it's bothering me a little bit because it's 2.5 seconds. And the main thing that's bothering me is that final mercenary. But it's kind of a perfect example of life and luck and Kunio-kun and being despised by a video game. That's what it looks like. But let's show off some things just to have fun. I was worried, I was terrified as I was doing all this post-game stuff on the same recording that I was gonna like lose power and then my recording was gonna get corrupted. Because I was so happy with this run. Let's have some fun with our great principal. Let's just pay him a visit, let him know that we care about him. Because we know he cares about us. Double tap. Look at how important we are to him. A Bobo say, stay in school. You hear that, kids? Please don't get in fights. Stay in school. Let's see if I can get through the sewer this time without running into a wall. As we head to the even more important order of business. Saving River City is whatever, but what we're about to do next, this is life or death. Celine says, please don't get in fights, say this is River City. Well, yeah, I'm not talking to, like, people outside of River City. There might be still hope for them to become honor students without getting in fights. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Oh, come on, man. Come on. For the people. Not even for me? Someday we'll get a fist bump. Maybe if I do like co-op speedruns with somebody, maybe Ice Age or somebody else if they're interested, we can get some fist bumps in there. We can complete the fist connection. The fist connection. Yeah, there's some decent block sliding after the run's already over. I should have been in fights rather than be an honor student, says Neon. Okay, fair point. Here we go. Oh, we have another escapee again, but this time they just wanted to, they were just so excited at the prospect of having a new friend in us. Well, guess what? You've got a friend in me. Thank you, Nancy. Let's go check on him. Okay, I meant just me, you know. You don't have to be so serious with your beautiful smile. Anyway, yeah. Back we go. So, let's pay out that prediction. Congratulations to the twos. combined between two people, they bet 40 carats, and they definitely are going to get the biggest payout. By far, more went into the 1s with sub 108, and the 3s between 108.30 and sub 109. So, well done. Big money. But thank you, 1s, for the ultimate belief. I'm so sorry I fell just short, even though, like, it was kind of a rigged... I knew in advance that the 2s were gonna win. Are you kidding me? You will die! Now you die! You will suffer greatly! You will suffer greatly! Now you die! Now you die! You will suffer greatly! You will die! You will... You... Okay, that guy can live. That guy sucked though, my god. But there they are. We just had to take care of some business there. Hi, kitties. Thank you for the yarn sword. Look at them. How could I be upset about missing sub 108 by 2.5 seconds after spending time with these beans? I really wish I could change litter, though. Hi, I'm sorry. Yeah. Do you want to help me change litter? Is that what I've been missing? Teamwork? The value of teamwork. That's all I need. Oh, nice jump! Oh my gosh. You see that little hop from that little kitty? Oh! Alexis is also... same person's with us this time. She has different hair. Just brushing the sleepies off her face. Oh, did you see all of them posing perfectly? Let's honor their yarn sword with a little bit of action here. Never mind, this is Act 3 AI. We will never get past their blocks. But we'll try. Ow. Okay, yeah, and the boring attack preventer. Weapons are just terrible in this game, honestly. I ducked you, you son of a gun! I will take away your fun. Also, I am almost dead here, and I do not have the benefit of my tutorial stamina or willpower at this time. But we have to honor the milk gods a little bit. They were very kind to us in this run. We had 0 knockdowns, 0 dropped milks. Ow. You know what? Fine, that's enough milk, I think. Let's punish you all with the milk god's vengeance. Take that and that. Take the milk. It's good for you. It's good for breaking your bones. Oh god, that... In the moment, that was, like, the most satisfying thing I had felt the entire night. Like, that was so satisfying. Give them all a boop.